Well, again, like you said in your opening, every single team that plays, the game of baseball goes through cold stretches throughout the course of a long season. And right now the Oilmen have struggled offensively primarily. Is an area of improvement for them. They need to work on their offensive game. They've had trouble, getting the big hits when they need them. And so I think that really is going to be the biggest factor going forward for the Oilmen to get out of this funk, to get those timely hits that they need in order to put runs on the board when they have the opportunity, because their starting pitching has been tremendous, as it has been all year long. It's just the offense hasn't had the timely hitting that they've needed, and I think that going forward, Enright will definitely be focusing on that for his team, letting them know that this game is based on situational hitting, manufacturing runs, and I think if the Oilmen can do that going forward, they'll be able to get out of this little funk that they've fallen into. Tough play there for the shortstop. Just caught a funny hop as it bounced off the lip of the grass and just jumped up on him and just right over the top of his mitt, off his chest, bounded away from him. This is a really nice field here, though, that DuPage plays at. Great infield, it looks like. The only difference between this and a lot of other fields that the base paths between home plate and first and third base does not have any dirt, so it's just grass. So that makes it a little more difficult for the guys trying to field those balls. Yeah, absolutely. But that was a great bunt by Wood for a sacrifice, even for a base hit. Just barely got him beat there by the throw. Yeah, you might want to take a couple pitches there if you're Olin. Try to get this Conklin kid to throw some pitches here early. But with a runner in scoring position, you want to be aggressive at the plate, so that's what Olin was trying to do. Just got a little bit underneath it and put it right in the center fielder's glove. But Belmonte coming up now with an opportunity to drive in a run here early for the Oilmen. Absolutely. That's definitely why Enright is taking the approach that he has, having Wood bunt, because Wood is a very good hitter, although he is a tremendous bunter as well. So I like the thought process of trying to mix it up early, try to manufacture some runs as quickly as possible. And again, you're giving your meteor order opportunity to drive in Strozinski with a base hit. Yeah, you love having a guy like Strozinski leading off your order with the speed that he has. Belmonte, all he needed to do was to get a base hit, and you knew that Strozinski was going to be able to score. Center fielder Duncan attacking the ball aggressively there because he knows Strozinski has the speed and just wasn't able to field the ball cleanly as it bounced over his mitt. Well, DuPage is a very good offensive team. You want to see Justice work ahead in counts, try to get ahead of these hitters, not fall behind, and just be aggressive with his stuff. Warming up, he's got a lot of nice movement on his pitches. This guy pitches primarily out of the stretch. Looks like he might pitch solely out of the stretch, actually. Let me correct myself. He worked primarily as a reliever for the Evansville Purple Aces this past year. And again, you see that from a lot of guys who are relief pitchers. They don't have a windup. They only pitch out of the stretch, and that's how I was acknowledging that with Brandon here before the inning started, just checking up on that. Because, again, a lot of times you see guys throw out of the windup so they can get a little extra oomph behind the ball. So, yeah, again, Justice, he fell behind here early, and, again, that's exactly what you do not want to do, especially to a leadoff hitter. You want to be aggressive with your stuff, pound the strike zone as he bunts. Oh!
Nice play by Justice coming off the mound. He lays out and makes a great play.
Yeah, Joe Duncan coming up to the plate now, big center fielder. He's a really good hitter. As Justice misses low for the first pitch. But Justice, yeah, on that play, that's the danger of bunting the ball up into the air and not getting it onto the ground, is you allow the pitcher the opportunity to catch it on a fly. And Justice made a tremendous diving catch to make the play.
Line drive right.
There's a lot to like about the kid. He's big. He's probably about 6'3", 6'4", 220. He's really starting to find his groove at the plate. He's had a lot of great offensive showing here of late. He's had some big hits for the team. And overall, again, the reason why I'm a big fan of this kid, he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. That's just really what it comes down to. He plays hard. He plays focused. He's always in the zone and locked in. You like to see that, especially in a team like this where it's a summer ball league team. pops out there, but at the same time, again, like I was saying, he just plays the game the right way. He plays it with the aggressive nature and mindset that you want to see out of all your players, and I really thoroughly enjoy watching the kid play. Yeah, definitely, but I do like to look at this Barnhart kid. Again, I think he was the Admirals player last year?
Joliet a year ago.
Yeah,
Brian Seymour.
He's got a good look about him. He looks like a ball player, Barnhart. He's got a good cut. You know, he struggled a little bit in his home debut, but I still think that going forward, he's a nice pickup for the Oilmen here late in the season. Very true, very true. Yeah, these you pretty much know the team at this point well enough to where the jersey number is secondary to, the stature of the player and knowing who they are. Yeah, the Carrier brothers batting back-to-back 3 and 4 hole, 2 big kids. Really good cuts on both of these kids. I like watching Trent Carrier play. He's a very quality player. He's got a really nice cut to him. And his brother here is a big kid, too. They're both dangerous hitters, so we'll see if Justice can work his way around this first leadoff hitter of the inning. That's why they call it the hot corner right there. Belmonte with the quick glove. Just stab it out of the air as it was flying right at him. And we got one away here in the inning. A little high on those walk numbers, though. You might want to see about cutting those down just a little bit. Yeah, that ball was slicing to the left side, just away from Wood as he made a leaping attempt, and it just went over the tip of his mitt into left field for a base hit. Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't make that comment earlier. I was going to say I want to see what the Hounds coach is going to do here to try to manufacture a run of their own, and he put the runner in motion here with one away. Yeah, that was a big pitch right there by Justice. Really nice. Jumonville doing a nice job holding on to that ball for the strikeout, as now there's 2 away in the inning with Hunter Morris, the catcher, coming up to bat with a runner on second base. Yeah, and the 1 run on the board scored by Strozinski here, the leadoff man, who's coming up to the plate now. But it was on an error that sparked the opportunity to get that run. So Conklin still having a really nice start to his game here, even though he trails early, 1-0. Yeah, he got his redemption right there for the play earlier on Strozinski, as he made a nice play to just range over to his right a little bit, get right in front of it, field it cleanly, and make the throw. Yeah, he's not very big in stature, but the kid swings a really nice bat. He's got great pop as he takes outside to make the count 1-2. But yeah, Wood, again, he's very consistent. He's a quality, solid player, defensively sound. Just a great guy for the Oilmen. I
probably would have guessed that.
Yeah, I believe the ball might have actually caromed off the base. Might have caught a nick of it as it kind of bounced up on Belmonte as he was ranging over to his right. Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more difficult, but at the same time, it's just a well-placed ball by the hitter. If you're pulling it right down that line, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be getting a base hit regardless if it misses the base or not. But fortunate for Wolnick there to get the base hit and be the leadoff man of the inning on base. Yeah, now Justice has his work cut out for him with the top of the order coming up. Zach Taylor, Joe Duncan to follow. And with a runner in scoring position, Justice is going to have to work his way out of this jam in order to maintain the lead for the Oilmen. Justice having a very similar occurrence here with the leadoff man, falling behind 2-0. Again, not something you want to do, especially to a great hitter. And that's not the worst thing in the world to have happen. Belmonte made a nice play to keep that ball in the infield. But now you do have a force at second base and the opportunity to turn a double play. So that is a positive out of a negative. And again, you can see the thought process here by both coaches just to maintain the lead as quickly as possible with the threat of rain. And clearly the Hounds looking to try to put 2 runners in scoring position for Trent Carrier, who is in the on-deck circle, because Joe Duncan otherwise I would imagine would be swinging away because he's a very good hitter. I would say actually Turnock probably has the best arm of all the catchers on the team. Jumonville not quite as strong with the arm, but his ability to block the ball, Jumonville, is just tremendous as he made an unbelievable stop right there. And now Justice really needs to make a good pitch here, as you do not want to load the bases, but you don't want to just throw him a cookie right over the middle of the plate. So You got to try to find a corner of the strike zone and make a pitch that will fool the hitter and be able to get him out here. And again, that's the danger in falling behind a hitter. With 2 strikes on him, he had an opportunity to put him away on a 2-2 count. Just missed high with a slider or a cutter, it looked like. And 3-2, again, you threw him one over the plate and he got a hold of it. Absolutely. This isn't a team that you can make mental mistakes or defensive errors against and win. So you need to be absolutely sound in every aspect of your game. And the Hounds are taking advantage of the Oilmen's mistakes here early. And again, the mentality of both coaches clearly here early is to get the lead, hopefully before the rain comes. And so we're going to have to see going forward how the Oilmen want to play this now trailing by 2 runs. Yeah, those are 2 aspects that, as a baseball player, every team is capable of doing, running the bases, hitting fastballs. But the Oilmen need to be able to hit the off-speed pitches, as the count is 0-1 here, as Gorski swings through the first pitch and fouls the second one back to make it 0-2. But yeah, the Oilmen have had some mental errors on the base paths that have really cost them here this season. And you would think that guys would learn, their lesson and be more heads up, after making those mental mistakes, but they continue to happen, and Enright's got to do something to make sure that comes to an end. Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy game here early, but again, both teams pressing to just try to get the lead and hold it.
Just missed there, 3-2.
Yeah, very close. Very close pitch there. Maybe a little bit low below the knees, but a great pitch by Justice. But the count runs full as the runner on first will be put in motion here on the pitch. Yeah, sacks full of Hounds as the 9th hitter of the inning comes up to the plate. Justice really needs to bear down here and put a stop to the bleeding and not allow any further runs to cross the plate. Yeah, Jumonville very sharp behind the plate today. He's made a couple really nice stops of balls that were in the dirt. And you need that as a pitcher. You want to have confidence in your catcher to be able to throw whatever you want to throw and know that he's going to be able to stop it. Justice clearly a nice pitch right there, but the pitch prior he was a little frustrated with himself, understandably so, but I don't think that in any situation you want to show the emotion when you're a pitcher out on the mound. Yeah, I caught up with Jeremy following the game last night. I was texting him and his father both. Jeremy left. Belmonte fouls that one off, just off the end of the bat. But yeah, Jeremy yesterday, again, caught one in the mouth. He kept all of his teeth, didn't lose any teeth, but he did end up with 18 stitches. Split his lip 2 to 3 centimeters. Jeremy was telling me that he had a plastic surgeon come in and patch him right up. So we wish him a quick and speedy recovery. Always love having Belmonte in the lineup. He's going to produce offensively. He's just a tremendous hitter. And the Hounds, I know he's a Hound killer. He's been doing very well against this team so far this year, and he's in scoring position with 1 away, and Jumonville coming up to the plate. But yeah, again, we're glad to hear that Jeremy is okay. I mean, again, it was a scary moment, something that you never want to see happen in the course of a game. But yeah, again, he's all right. I'm sure he's at home recovering today. And again, we wish him a speedy recovery. Jumonville having a great day behind the plate. Made a nice play to end that inning after he coughed up the ball. Let's see if he can get it going offensively here now as well. I was just going to say, this is probably one of the first times that Conklin has fallen behind a hitter. Jumonville needs to take advantage here as he misses outside to run the count 3-1. And now you really have a favorable situation for the hitter at the plate where you need to be looking fastball. You need to be looking inner half. You want to get something you can get the meat of the bat on the ball and drive it. And again, you could see Conklin for the first time in this ball game losing a little bit of his control. And again, you want to be aggressive in this situation if you're Fred Smart ahead in the count now. You want to be looking for something that you can drive and get one of these runs home and the other one moved around the base paths. Yeah, nice cut fastball there by Conklin. I like when a pitcher is confident in his pitches and not just throwing straight fastballs. When they're behind in the count, you like to see a guy that knows that he can throw any one of his pitches for strikes, and Conklin made a really nice pitch. Fred Smart just missed it, fouled it off back to the screen. Yeah, absolutely. Again, this kid, he has a really nice swing. He's got a great build. He's proven himself to be a good hitter, and it's a pretty perfect scenario for him to get his first Oilman hit and drive in some runs here to get the Oilmen back into this ball game. 4 pitches, 3 foul balls for Barnhart, so he's just missing these balls. Let's see if he can get one put in play. And again, I talked about it before the game. This is a situation where the Oilmen need to get the timely hit, and they haven't in the games past. And again, this is where they've struggled. They've had opportunities. They've left a lot of runners on bases over the course of the last few games, and they just need that one timely hit. Let's see if Seymour has the opportunity now. Let's see if he can provide it. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that when we came back. Again, that's the situation right there that the Oilmen have had so much trouble with in the last few games. The reason, a big reason as to why they have fallen so short in a lot of their ball games is the pitches swung on and fouled off at the plate, 1-1 to count. But the Oilmen just haven't been able to get that one timely hit when they have runners in scoring position, in order to get their offense really going. That's been their Achilles heel, and it continues to affect them, as you see here today. I think I would need to count on 2 hands the amount of times the Oilmen have had the bases loaded with less than 2 outs and not been able to score a run. It's just increasingly frustrating to watch, and I can't imagine what Coach Enright must be feeling as he is, the head of this team. And anything, I mean, again, it's situational baseball. You work on it all year long. You don't need to try to do too much. You just need to do the job. You need to put the ball in play in an opportunity that, gives you a chance to score. Not popping out on the infield or anything of that nature. You just need to stay within yourself and get the job done. And the Oilmen, again, they seem to be trying to do a little bit too much. They're pressing when they have the opportunities. And again, they've just not been able to capitalize really at all in the past few games. Yeah, almost as bad as walking the leadoff man of an inning as walking the number 9 hitter in your order, because then it gives the top of your batting order an opportunity with a runner on base to manufacture a run. Yeah, I need to just stop saying those kinds of things, because it seems like every single time I say it, it happens. Again, you can't walk the number 9 hitter because you give the top of their batting order an opportunity to do damage. And Taylor just took advantage of the opportunity as he just absolutely crushed that ball into the trees over in left field. I mean, again, you can't allow the bottom of the batting order to reach base on a free pass. It's just really, as a pitcher, you got to know better than that. You got to be better than that. And again, Justice now struggling as he's given up 5 runs, although a few of them have been unearned. He's really got to compose himself and pull it together out there. I'm surprised that at this point that Coach Enright hasn't gotten anybody up in the bullpen or anything, because Justice is clearly reeling out there a little bit now. But he powered that first pitch as a fastball right past Carrier for strike 1, 0-1 the count. And now they have a runner in scoring position. That's what happens when you walk guys. And again, I did say that earlier in the game, Justice needs to cut down on those walk numbers. That's what'll come back to bite you when you, as a pitcher, give up free bases. Again, Justice clearly showing the emotion out on the mound. He's frustrated. I just feel that you never want to do that as a pitcher. You want to keep composure. So that's the second runner in this inning that Justice walked that has scored now.
Yeah.
So again, those walks
with 2 outs.
Yeah, with 2 outs. That one with 2 outs. Actually, yeah, all this has all been a 2-out rally. 3 runs scored with 2 away. That's the Hounds are doing what the Oilmen have been unable to do, and that's again, produce when they need to. Wolnick made a really nice play right there to get his body in front of the ball and field it in between his 2 feet. He didn't have to backhand it. He was able to range over to his right-hand side just enough to field cleanly and be able to come up and make a throw. And now the leadoff man, Strozinski, steps up to the plate. Yeah, as a pitcher, you need to minimize the damage and not allow the big hits to occur. Yeah, and that's the big thing is, again, they're with runners on base. So, as a pitcher, you need to, be conscious of the fact that you can't allow those big hits to occur. And again, it's been some good hitters. But again, especially with runners on base, you can't, allow guys to be getting good wood on the ball. And it's easier said than done, obviously. But at the same time, in 3 consecutive games now, a big home run has dramatically affected the course of the game. And that's just something that the Oilmen will need to work on going forward. I don't think so, no. I mean, again, well, playing in high school, it's a little different. But yeah, you get into a little bit of a routine in high school. It's a little bit more structured as far as school day. You got lunch in there, and then after your day of school, you play
Early
the game.
start, 4:30 usually.
Right. But yeah, in a situation like this where you're playing summer ball, the game time, prior to it is kind of left up to you. You have a little more leeway to, snack or get your own routine going, for your pregame ritual. But yeah, for me, I don't really think so. I don't really think I ever had anything in particular, as that last pitch just got away from Jumonville as the runner is able to advance to second base. So now a runner on second with one away, the count 1-0 here on Hunter Morris. Yeah, I was surprised to see Justice coming out to pitch this inning, already surrendering 6 runs, now 7 hits and 4 walks. So 11 base runners in 4 1/3 innings.
On top of the 2 guys that reached on errors.
Right. Yeah, so make it 13 rather. Might be trying to save some arms here. Again, the Oilmen do have a lot of games upcoming without any off days in between. So this is a grind point of the season. So Enright may just be looking to save some arms here and allow Justice to try to work out some of the kinks here as he throws that pitch for strike 1. The count now 1-1 with 1 away, 2 runners on in the bottom of the 5th here for the Hounds. Yeah, it's a really tough play. About as far in the hole as you could possibly go, not hit very hard. So Wood able to glove it on the tip of the outfield grass there as he was ranging to his right-hand side, but Belmonte not able to get there either, but kept the ball in the infield and didn't allow the runners to advance any further than 1 base. So now the sack's full of Hounds with the batter Dustin Krob stepping up to the plate with an opportunity to put the game away maybe for the Hounds. Yeah, I mean, Justice just doesn't have his best stuff here today. He's surrendered now. 4 consecutive batters have been allowed to reach base, a single, a walk, and 2 more singles to follow. I mean, he's out of gas, just clearly. And that's, again, I was surprised to see him, make the trek out to the mound for this inning. But, again, trying to save arms clearly at this point in the season. Hunter Clark was saved from yesterday's game, coming on in relief of Enrique Zamora due to the injury to Jeremy Wright. Hunter Clark actually able to reach once on a fielder's choice, and again later in the game on a very nice single up the middle. So his offensive day was solid yesterday.
Made a catch in left field.
He did make a catch in left field. Yeah, he was all over the scorecard as far as making things happen. But he's warming up down the pen right now, the left-hander, and we'll see how much longer of a leash Justice is going to be given here. Yeah, very big out, especially considering Taylor was the one to put the home run on the board just an inning prior. But now 2 away with the bases still loaded here for Justice. Let's see if he can work out of the jam. And to go back to what you were saying about the Oilmen losing so many close games, again, that's a product of not getting the clutch hits that you need. Again, that's been something that has plagued the Oilmen all season long. And again, when you lose close ball games, that's definitely a big factor of why that happens. So, again, situational hitting, I'm going to keep pounding on it, until I start seeing it happen. The count 2-0 now as Justice falls behind. That's Justice's 5th walk, 3rd runner allowed to score after walking. You can't give away runs. You just can't. I mean, that's just pretty much rule numero uno in the book of pitchers. You can't walk guys and allow them to score. Again, that'll come back to bite you every single time as Justice, again, falls behind 2-0 now on the hitter, Trent Carrier, who is a guy that can do some damage and a guy you definitely don't want to fall behind to. So we'll see what Justice's plan of attack is going forward here. And we touched on it before the ball game. His walk numbers are just through the roof, especially following a 6-walk outing in 4 2/3 today. Again, I've said it multiple times. You can't be giving free passes. You just can't. I mean, that's the number one way that you'll get bitten, by the other team is if you just let them get on base. Because then it gives the team the opportunity to manufacture runs in a lot of different ways. And you saw it on multiple occasions. The Hounds took advantage of the situation here today, scoring 3 in 3 consecutive innings, allowing 9 hitters to come to the plate for the Hounds the past 2 innings. Overall, just a really tough outing today for Justice. Yeah, Conklin's been good here today as far as keeping the Oilman hitters minimized at the plate. He's only struck out 2, but it seems that he's really had his stuff going as he's forced a lot of runners, or a lot of hitters rather, to ground out, fly out, easy plays defensively as the count runs now to 1-2 as Smart takes an outside pitch. So 1-2 with one away, runners on second and first for the Oilmen as Fred Smart steps back into the box. Yeah, that's a tough play for Oland out there in left field as he was ranging back to the fence. It's the center fielder, or if it's the center fielder running towards the wall, it's one of the other corner outfielders' job to be yelling when you're within a few feet of the wall, wall, to be letting the guy who's chasing the ball down know where he's at, because again, when you're tracking the ball, you don't really have, an eye on where the fence is. But Oland just barely unable to make the catch as Clark now delivers a fastball for strike 1. The count 1-1 as the first pitch was outside, but Oland crashing into the wall after he leaped to try to make the catch, dropping his mitt. Tough play, but great hit there by Wolnick. Looking forward to the Crosstown Classic here today for the Chicago Cubs versus the White Sox. It's going to be must-see TV as Chris Sale will be going up against John Lester. That is going to be a battle of aces. So yesterday was a 1-0 game as the first pitch by Jones is taken low and outside for ball 1. But Lester versus Sale today is going to be must-see TV as Jones takes strike 1 to count 1-1. So Rosinski's one of those kids that just makes the game look easy.
Here's a strike called 0-2.
But he's the kind of kid, again, he's a tremendous fielder. He's been a staple for the Oilman offense, and he runs so well. Again, he just makes the game look easy, and he's just a tremendous athlete as he's going to be going to Trinity College with Coach Enright next season. So Rosinski, the only Oilman to cross the plate here today, and now he's on first with Jones ahead of him. We'll see if maybe the Oilman offense can get a little momentum here as Brad Wood, the shortstop, comes up to bat. Pulled a string on him there, Clark, as he threw a nice bending curveball that fooled the hitter and got him well out in front of the pitch to swing right over the top of that. This is another big kid here. I feel like every player on the Hounds is at least 6'1". Might be a requirement for this team. Yeah, surprising performance by Wood in the infield here today. He's usually a very sure-handed shortstop, but he's had a couple instances so far here today where the ball just hasn't taken the hop that he's wanted. It's just kind of bounced in and out of his mitt, and he's really struggling defensively to make plays here today. You're absolutely right. Again, I've pretty much generated my own score sheet for the last couple games because I need a little more space than just that little tiny box there. I can't really work with that. It's just a little too small for my liking. I got big handwriting, but I have improved. I was tired of the ridicule that you were throwing my way. Big swing there by Wolnick, actually. He took a nice cut at that ball. 1-2 count. Clark delivers low for ball 2. The count now 2-2 with 2 away. 2 runners on for the Hounds. Yeah, absolutely. He seems to be that kind of kid, just a tough as nails type of kid. Be it as a catcher or as an outfielder. That's a pretty cool story to hear that you break your foot and then proceed to hit a home run. A lot of times when that adrenaline's going like that, though, you don't necessarily feel it even, until the next day. But very impressive stuff there for Jumonville. Fred Smart continues to swing a hot bat here for the Oilmen. One of the few Oilmen hitters who is still hitting the ball very well at this point in the year. It's good to see going forward. You need guys like that can continue to mix it up when your team is struggling. But my vote today goes to Belmonte for the Hoosier batter of the game. Taylor, the leadoff man here for the Hounds, delivered the biggest hit of the game. 2-run home run to left field earlier that set the table for the rest of the game. Yeah, absolutely. It's been all Hounds kind of day, save maybe the last inning for the Oilmen where they were able to tally 3 runs. But yeah, the ball's bouncing the Hounds' way today. They've got 16 hits. They've reached 4 times on errors that I believe had upwards of 6 walks as well. So they've just had a lot of success here today and had a lot of bounces go their way as far as the way that the game has unfolded. Nice play there by those two after Yelnick had tipped it at the mound. I was under the impression that the ball was going to be knocked away from Wood, but Wood was fortunate to be right in the right spot to be able to collect the ball and at least get one out. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that Monday home game. It's going to probably be as Wood swings through a pitch that he fouled into the catcher's mitt for the first out of the inning. He strikes out. But yeah, that game on Monday is going to be a home game for the Oilmen at Oil City Stadium. A 6 o'clock start, as Brandon was saying. But it's probably going to be one of the first times this year that the Oilmen are going to be playing in favorable conditions where the weather will be nice that time of day. It's been a little colder once it gets past the 7 o'clock hour where the games mostly have been starting so far this year. But definitely come out if you haven't made it out to a game yet. Oil City Stadium, Monday at 6 o'clock. It's going to be nice weather. It's going to be a fun game, I'm assuming. We'll have some on-field games going on in between innings and all kinds of good stuff for you. So definitely, if you haven't had a chance to make it out to a game, definitely consider that Monday date as a good chance to kick off your week with some Oilman baseball. And if you have made it out, then we hope to see you there too.